welcome back to our channel. Today I'm taking you along as we go to our groomer. This is Stassi's first time going to our groomer, and she is almost 8 months old. So as you can see, I do most things at home by myself, but every now and then, probably about every 3 to 4 months, I like to take them to see Miss Lynn, who is our groomer, and she just does a few little things for me. Not very much, but she does a few little things for me that I just prefer for her to do. One of the things is getting the hair out from inside the ears, so I don't really like doing that, so I let her do that. While we're there, I will get her to clip their nails, and I do this in between at home, but you know, while we're there, we're gonna get her to do that. And then I also will get just a couple of things kind of precision cleaned up, just around their butts and in their private areas. And I do get their belly shaved just a little bit, not very much. I don't really like to shave very much of their belly, but I think it makes them a little bit cooler having a little bit of that shaved. So just a little bit on that. And then not very much, really. I started going to her when I had Bristol, and I've known Lynn for quite some time, probably about 6 or 7 years. I met her when I had my pet photography business, and she is wonderful. I absolutely love her. She is a great groomer and a great person overall. She loves the pets, you can tell. I stay with them while I get them groomed, because I don't really get a whole lot done, and so, you know, it's really easy for me to just stay there with them and then get the few little things that I get done, and then you know, we leave. But it's always great to see her, and I can't wait for you guys to meet her. She's a sweetheart. It's very important that you find a groomer that you can trust, and she is definitely a person that I can trust, and I would have no problems leaving my babies with her at all. It's just easier for me because I'm only getting a few little things done to just stay there with them. So we'll kind of interview her a little bit and ask her just a couple of questions to help you guys out in finding a good groomer. But definitely she is a great one if you are in the New Orleans area. Her business is called Lynn's Puppylove Grooming, and I highly recommend her if you are in this area. Other than that, I think we're just going to take you along in a few minutes. We'll be there, and we'll check back soon. All right, we are here. Let's go inside and meet Miss Lynn. Hi, Miss Lynn.
Hi. Look at her go. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love it.
She got her Disney bow on. All right, I'm gonna go get Stassi.
You are cute.
And this. Miss Lynn loves her some Harper.
I do. These guys. Hi.
This is the first time she's meeting Stassi.
Let me look how giddy you are. Let me look at your little voice you got. Hi. Look at you. Look at you. Oh my God.
She's a love.
So pretty.
Thank you. She's a little lovey.
Your mama does a good job brushing you.
She's work, girl.
I know she is. You get under the pits and all.
Yes.
She does a good job. You are a love.
She is a love.
You would just sit there and breathe my face, wouldn't you?
Yep. And lick you. Oh, and she is a kisser.
You're fooling me. Let me kiss you.
Oh, she loves to kiss. No?
Not so much, huh? Oh my gosh, she's so pretty.
Thank you. Thank you. She's got a pretty coat, huh?
She does. It's gorgeous. I know it's a lot of work.
Oh, girl. But I enjoy it. I love it.
Is she liking her?
Yeah, she, she drives her crazy. Stassi drives her nuts. She wants to play. So Harper's like, leave me alone a lot of times. But she likes to play, but Stassi will, kind of try and drag her by her ears, which is not the best for poor Harper. All right, so as I was saying in the car, we come to see Miss Lynn every few months, and I do a lot of things at home, as you guys know, but I do like to come and see Miss Lynn every few months just to kind of do a couple of things that I don't like to do. So today, Miss Lynn,
I'm the bad guy.
you're the bad guy. We're gonna get the hair from inside their ears. And then on Harper, I like her to shave underneath her armpits. And the reason why I do that on Harper and I'm not going to do it on Stassi is because Harper sleeps with my son. And so I don't get to groom her quite as much as I do Stassi because Stassi's always with me. So every morning we go through her routine and it's just easier for me to keep up with her because she's with me like 24/7. So we're gonna do that and then also shave a little bit of their bellies and then clip their nails, and I don't know, probably that's about it. But anyway, before we get started, I wanted to ask Miss Lynn, I know you guys have asked me questions before on how to find a good groomer, and so I figured we would ask Lynn on that subject and what, how she feels and how people could find a good groomer in their area.
That is very, very, very important and near and dear to my heart. I think it's very important to have a good communication with your groomer. You should never be afraid to ask some questions. If there's something that you want differently done that they're doing, you should definitely be able to say, I don't really like that, can we try something else? A lot of times people feel intimidated and would rather not talk to them, but it really should be a very good open line of communication. Another thing is I think you should be able to walk in the back and see where the dogs are being held. If someone doesn't show you or doesn't allow you to come to the back where they're grooming the dogs, not necessarily to stay while they're doing it, but just to see, then I think that should raise a red flag. What else? I think it's important their communication. When you walk in the door, if they don't greet the dogs and talk to the dogs, that also would be a red flag to me. You want somebody that's comfortable, that actually does it because they love doing it, and usually you can spot those people out. There is one thing I want to say though. A lot of people think that if you go to a grooming salon and the dogs are shaking at the door and don't want to come in, it's usually because they're being treated unfairly or they're not being treated nice. Sometimes I say that's probably true, unfortunately, but I think that if you pay attention and you kind of know your groomer, then you can kind of tell. When I pull up to my own grooming salon, my dogs want to dash underneath my seat. And clearly I'm not treating them unfairly. It's just they would rather not. So it doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, they're being treated unfairly. It's just because they would probably rather not.
So what are some signs if you are going to a groomer and you like suspect that your dogs are being treated unfairly? What would you look for?
I would watch the interaction with the dog and the groomer. You could always do a surprise pop-up visit and see. The reason I have my table here is because when people walk in my door, I want them to see me. The dogs are always, you know, they're on my table. There's nothing to hide. I have an open door policy. I let people come in the back, see where the dogs are being held. I personally like the dogs being in the same room with me because I want to be able to see what they're doing, and I think they're more comfortable if they see me. Some people, because they make noise like this, would rather be in another room. That's not what makes me comfortable. But I mean, parents usually, if they're really connected to their dogs, their intuition will kick in. I'm sure yours will.
No, not me.
Mine would, but that's not, you know, I just wanted to let people know that's not always a telltale sign that the dogs are shaken.
Right.
Mine do the same thing. It's just they would rather not be brushed and bathed and blow dried.
Right.
Nails clipped, anal glands, the whole 9 yards.
Right.
I would say just make sure you're with somebody that you're comfortable with. Make sure that you have good communication and you can talk to them and you're fully comfortable with them because it's your babies. Right.
And I think it's important too that you go to a groomer that's going to listen to you, because Miss Lynn can tell you that I'm very picky. But she listens to me. Yes. So she, you know, like, I know she gets like the heebie-jeebies and wants to like cut more than I allow her to do.
No. The face gives it away. If I lie and say no, my face is like...
But she listens to me, and so that's what I love about coming here, is that she, you know, respects that I want to keep them in long coat. And I know that, you know, this is not for everybody, and that I think is very important too. You know, you guys can watch my videos, and, you know, everybody has a different degree of what they would like to do with their dogs, and I am the first one to tell you that keeping a dog in show coat or in a long coat, if you're not a show person like myself, is work. It's a lot of work, but I make that commitment to do it. Now, that's not to say that everyone will, and that's fine. You know, you may choose to visit your groomer every week, every couple of weeks, every month. So whatever is best for you and your routine to keep your babies clean and well groomed is just an individual preference.
Right.
So,
Mom does a good job keeping you guys up. For sure. There's not many people that can do this, or would want to do it, shall I say.
Right, right.
But it's rewarding and you love it.
It is.
That's why I do what I do, because I feel the same. It's rewarding and I love it.
Yes, I do. I love it. It's like therapy to me, like at nighttime when I'm, you know, watching TV and I just brush them, and it's really, I love it. So that's why I choose to do it. And plus they're so gorgeous in their long coats.
They are.
So, yeah. All right. So I think, do you have anything else to say, like on that subject, that you can think of? Anything that you would like pet owners to know about either maintaining their dogs or
I will say that a lot of people get dogs and never properly take care of them. And again, goes back to having a good communication with your groomer. Don't feel silly. I have a Cocker Spaniel who's nearly in full coat, and it makes me crazy. And honestly, when I leave here, I do not want to go home and brush him all day long. But I love it, and it's beautiful. When I first started grooming, I had another Cocker Spaniel, and the groomer that I had, she didn't give me any pointers. She wasn't knowledgeable. She didn't talk about it. She wasn't inviting and open to it. So it's a different world to me. I'm just very different than the people I have come across. So in the groomers that I train them to be my clones. You want open communication. If you don't know how your dog is supposed to be brushed or what kind of brush you're supposed to use, don't feel silly to ask your groomer. That's what they're there for. If they are in this profession, they should be in it because that's where their heart is, that's where their passion is, not for any other reason.
Right. And I didn't mention this before, but I met Miss Lynn when I was doing pet photography, and that was probably about 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that, my business was based around groomers. So I went around to all of the different groomers and did pet photos for their clients. And I can tell you there's some shady groomers out there. And I think that, that you really do have to really search out a great groomer that you can feel comfortable with and that is going to really take care of your babies when you are not with them, because it can be dangerous. I mean, my brother brought his dog. He has a border collie, and he brought her to PetSmart to get groomed, and when he walked in to get her, she was bleeding. Her paw was like, I don't think he got the true story of exactly what happened. One person told him that her paw got caught in a cage. The next person told him that she was coming out of the door and the door slammed on the paw. But he had hundreds of dollars worth of vet bills, plus the pain and suffering that his beloved pet went through was just absolutely horrible. So I think they did pay for it. Yeah, I think they did pay for it, but it was terrible. She lost like part of her paw pads. Yeah. So it is scary.
That is the one thing I say with like big corporations. When I started as just a bather because I loved animals and I wanted to work with animals. I started at a big box chain, and being there, I learned that I didn't want to just bathe. I wanted to groom. I wanted to be more in depth with the dogs. I wanted my hands on. Because of the grooming manager that was there, clearly was not in it for the right reason. She was angry all the time. She would shake the dogs. It was a horrible situation. And unfortunately, at those big places, I hate to say that they don't care about the animals, but honestly, I feel that they're just about the money, the bottom dollar. And they treat the animals as if it's a production line instead of each individual dog. They're like people. They have their own quirks, and you have to adjust yourself according to them and their temperament.
And I can tell you, just from grooming my own dogs and from grooming, Stassi so much, it's very easy to get frustrated with a dog. It is very easy because sometimes I get frustrated with my own dogs.
Right.
So, when she's not doing, she's pretty good, but when she does something, that sometimes, she'll get in a mood like all of us do. And so, you know, it's easy to get very frustrated. But, you know, she's my baby and I love her, but, you know, not all groomers, you know, love your babies like you do.
No
So,
one love them like you do.
right.
But
And I've heard some horror stories out there.
And there's a ton of them, and unfortunately, usually it is the groomers getting caught by accident, and it's scary because you never know what they go through. That's why it's so important. Talk to your groomer. If they don't have time to talk to you, if they don't have time to answer any of your questions, that is a red flag.
Mm-hmm.
There should never be a time your groomer does not have time to talk to you. I can be busy, and if I don't have time right at that moment, I will give you a call back, or we could set up a meeting.
Mm-hmm.
But there should never be a time that they're too busy to talk to you. It's important. They're your baby.
Mm-hmm.
And they should be treated like your babies. My Cocker Spaniel went on my honeymoon, so...
Aww.
It's one of those things, I get it. And don't feel silly for feeling that way and being that way, because that's how it should be.
Right.
That's how I feel, you know.
I agree.
But it does take a lot of patience, and you will lose patience, and you will get aggravated, and sometimes you just need to put them up, take a break. But it should never get to the point where you're so aggravated you want to hit them,
Right.
or curse at them,
Right.
or anything like that. If it is, you're in the wrong business.
Definitely.
You should do something else.
Definitely.
If you're doing it, you should do it because you absolutely love it.
I think that's the most important thing. And clearly, you know, I definitely know that you love, you know, truly love all of your clients. You know, I not only do I come here, but I also see you, you know, on Facebook and social media, and just know what you stand for. And I think that's, you know, part of getting to know your groomer too. You know, getting to know them more on a personal level, to know what, you know, what they stand for. I mean, Miss Lynn is always on Facebook, you know, loving up on dogs and, you know, doing things at different fundraising events or Pet Fest, or, you know, just the different dog-related events that come around. Well, my goodness.
Right. He has a lot to say.
Yes. All right. But so let's get started on our little grooming adventure here.